I never thought I'd see the day where I'd be making a video about a game where SpongeBob, Nigel Thornberry, and Reptar are duking it out in Ninja Turtles New York City, but here we are. Hey guys, Brady here. Um, Welcome back to a top 10 on this channel. Alright, so if you recall, I believe a few days ago, or one day ago, or I don't know, whenever this video gets posted, I'll know when the game was announced. The game in question that was announced was Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. I'm going to say this up in front. This idea is amazing. It's a perfect way to cash in on something that's exceedingly popular already at the time. The 2D platforming fighting game. Most notably, the Super Smash Bros. Video game series of at least, 5 titles. And while some companies try to do that, they kind of failed and went underground and all that. Yes, if you do recall, I did a review on Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion, and while some people did agree with me that it is a horrible piece of horse crap, there's a lot of people that were, like, super indifferent to my opinion. It's totally fine, but I don't know. So basically, at the time, like Nickelodeon, you can clearly tell that, like Nickelodeon is technically T-posing on Crave Studios right now. Like, who's your daddy now, boy? Anyways, so I'm sure I'm not going to be the only person to do this, but here are my top 10 characters that I want for the Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. Now, make note that you do not have to agree with these. They are just my opinion. Some of these are very, very, very random picks that my personal self, decided to choose just for the sake of me choosing them. You can have your own list. You don't have to agree with me, which ended up in flames when I did my first top 10 on He-Man's channel. So, don't take this list seriously. Okay? You good? Okay. Anyways, before we get into the top 10 actual characters, we're going to jump into some joke characters. So, what I mean by joke characters is characters that we know are not going to get in by any means necessary. Well, with the exception of the number one joke character that I have. We'll get to that in a bit. But I just decided to select because, think of it as jokish honorable mentions. So, yeah. So, the joke characters. Number 5, we have Arte, the strongest man in the world, from The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Now, if you don't know what The Adventures of Pete and Pete is, it was a 90s Nickelodeon a very silly and hilarious Nickelodeon sitcom that aired in the 90s. I'm pretty sure it was on at the same time that Hey Dude and Salute Your Shorts and Clarissa Explains It All was on, or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he seems like an interesting choice. If there's trophies in this game, which I really think there probably won't be, but if there were, like collectibles, like the master models from Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots, like the master models, like the little trophies of the characters, that could work. And maybe Artie could be one of the characters, or he could be a fighter, considering he proclaims himself to be the strongest man in the world. So, yes. Now we move on to number 4. Miranda Crossgrove, a.k.a. Carly from iCarly. I don't know, I mean, considering the reboot came out, or is out, or whenever that, I don't know, whenever it's out, or if it is out or not, on Paramount Plus, I don't even know. She could be a nice addition. I mean, she's technically a Nickelodeon sitcom classic. I guess so. I don't know what her moveset could be, but it could be nice. She could use tech to her advantage, considering her whole show is about going to high school and making videos for a living for money. and doing a lot of other stupid crap. iCarly's a little weird, but that's beside the point because it's a classic. Anyways, next up we have, even though he's already technically owned by a different company, Doug Funny from Doug. You know, do 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 do. Once again, he's owned by Disney, but he was owned by Nickelodeon first. So I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, he doesn't really have a chance, just like the other two characters that I mentioned and the other two characters that I'm going to mention in a bit. But it'd be nice to have, like, I don't know, like a small little tidbit reference of him. I don't know. I mean, Nickelodeon technically forgot about Doug. And it's probably for the best, considering he made other things like Doug's first movie. Horrible film. But yeah, maybe a reference to Doug, or put him in the game entirely, except if he's owned by Disney, which he probably still is. But anyways, let's move on to number 2, which is Tak from Tak and the Power of Juju. Now, I know he's already technically had his own game first and then had the show. I don't necessarily know the reception to the show. I hear that it's mediocre or good or bad, or I don't know, because normally video game cartoons on the rocks. But he was part of the Nicktoons Unite series, most famously Attack of the Toybots and Globs of Doom. Globs of Doom, I kind of messed that up. Whatever. God, I need to shave. But anyways, he will be cool. He could use his staff like he did in the games that I just mentioned. He of course has the Juju and all that, and all the attacks that he had in the TV show and the video games as well. Just be sure to have his original video game voice actor and not his cartoon voice actor. Because if you do, people will be kind of upset. But that's beside the point. Anyways, and number 1 is kind of a very weird decision. Sheen Estevez from Adventures of Jimmy Neutron and Planet Sheen. Now, he has a slight chance, considering, you know, I don't know, because he's had his own show. I don't even know if it was received very well, but I don't know. I mean, I watched it back in the day. Did you guys watch it? Because I watched it. Yes. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say for Sheen, to be honest. He could be like a trophy or something, along with Carl and Cindy and Hugh Neutron and Miss Neutron and the Yokians from the movie. But you know, all that jazz. So yeah, that's all the joke characters. So let's move on to the actual meat of this video, which will probably make the video about 27 minutes long or more. I've totally done worse, but I'm gonna talk about the actual top 10 characters. So number 10 is Otis from Back at the Barnyard. Not the movie, the show. I swear to God, if you make him voiced by Kevin James, I will hurt you. But anyways, I don't know. He was exceedingly strong in the Super Brawl games. So maybe he could join the crew in the newest console game that's coming out. Of course, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. Yeah, like I said, it would be weird for him to just fire like in Super Brawl, he fired beams out of his udder, which is totally gross. But I can totally understand that could be a power that a cow could have in a fighting game, but I do not want to see him do that in All-Stars Brawl. So there's that. I mean, and maybe the trophies could be like, you know, Pig, what's that other guy's? I don't know any of the other characters. All I know is the Pig, who does, you know, the viewer mail time and all that. You could do, you could even have some characters from the movie, like Wild Mike, who can do Ben, all those other characters as well. I don't know. But it's only a matter of time before he actually gets confirmed. But let's move on. Number 9, even though a character has already been confirmed for this, to represent the series, Tommy and Angelica Pickles, or Angelica Pickles, from Rugrats. Even though Reptar is already a playable character, and I am so down to play as Reptar, but in all honesty, where is Tommy and Angelica? Or Chucky, even. Or Phil and Lil. I don't know. Or Kimmy. from Rugrats of Paris. But anyways, that's beside the point. Or Stu Pickles. That would be even better. But I don't know. I mean, they would be interesting. Of course, they could. I'm not that much of a moveset predictor or whatever, but they could be interesting. They'd definitely be very lightweight because they're small. Let's just hope they don't choose the designs from All Grown Up, because that would be this. Anyways, next up is number 8. Manny Rivera from L.T. Gray, The Adventures of Manny Rivera. Now, I've only seen, 3 or 4 episodes of the show, and even then, I might want him, because a lot of my other friends are saying, hey, where's L.T. Gray? L.T. Gray would be great as a character. Yes, he would. But in all honesty, I don't know. I mean, he was in the DS version of Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots, and he was the hardest character to unlock, considering Pupununu Village was the hardest stage in that DS game. Let me know if I should talk about the DS Nicktoons games. I don't know. But aside from the fact that his show was very short-lived, it would be nice to see him, or at least referenced, or he would be excellent as a playable character. He'd kind of be like the Sheik of the game, or maybe even something completely different. But that's beside the point, you know. Anyways, number 7. Hear me out for a second. Dora the Explorer. Look, I hate Dora the Explorer just as much as the next person. It's horrible. It's a horrible show. It doesn't teach kids anything, but you have to admit she has paved her way into many kids' childhoods and paved her spot in the Nickelodeon Classics catalog. Even though she's technically a Nick Jr. character. And there has been rumors of a Nick Jr. character being in the game. And I swear if it's Paw Patrol, I will hurt myself and bang my head into the wall continuously. But, I don't know, maybe she could be interesting, but in all honesty, I'm a little indifferent to that choice. Look, I'm, just like you guys, I'm indifferent to the choice as well, because Dora the Explorer, the show, is trash. But, aside from that, it could be a very interesting idea. So next up, we have number 6, which is a very, very, very obscure character, Kirk Fogg from Legends of the Hidden Temple. Now, this is a game show character, and although there aren't that many game show characters on Nickelodeon, there's Nick Arcade, there's Guts, there's the Hidden Temple. I would say All That, but that's a sketch comedy show. Ed from Good Burger for Nicktoons All-Stars Brawl. Oh, that'd be so terrible, but I would love that. Anyways, but yeah, he'd be a nice idea, but I don't know if Kirk Fogg himself, like the real Kirk Fogg, could actually voice him, because he played himself in the movie as well. So that's something. But he'd be a very interesting choice. He could, of course, use a lot of jungle weapons like a scimitar and maybe a grappling hook or something like that. I don't know. And his color swaps could be like the team colors from Legends of the Hidden Temple, the game show. So yeah, that's Kirk Fogg. Number 5 is a given. Timmy Turner from The Fairly Odd Parents. You have to have Timmy Turner. There is no excuse. Even if the show is off the air, and even though Butch Hartman technically is not working with Nickelodeon anymore, most likely because he is a questionable douchebag. No offense to you, bud, but I've heard some weird things about you. But anyways, you have to have Timmy Turner. You cannot have a Nickelodeon game and not include Timmy Turner. Please do it. But anyways, he was in Super Brawl Universe, Super Brawl Universe, which I'm not a big fan of. But I played it for a few minutes. The first few minutes was pretty entertaining, to be honest. But in all honesty, it was pretty bad. He was in that game. Why can't he be in this? But then again, I don't know if there's necessarily going to be character reveals or not. Directs. I don't know. You tell me. Anyways, next up is number 4. Another given. Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I hear Korra is actually confirmed due to the box art. So if you got Korra, why not have Aang? He came first. His series came first before The Legend of Korra. I mean, he would be very interesting. Of course, he would be a powerhouse, just like in Super Brawl 2, where his special moves he goes into an orb and he spits out a bunch of laser balls and all that. It'd be very interesting. He could use his staff. He could use his wing glider as well. He can, for his super move, he could call upon Katara, Sokka, and Appa to fly and like and all that. So yeah. Next up, we have number 3. Another given. Jimmy Neutron. I swear to God. Everybody's always wanted 2 characters. Jokingly, everybody wanted 2 characters in Smash. SpongeBob and Jimmy Neutron. I don't want them. That would make me a very nonsensical person. But I just want to play but I really want to play as Jimmy Neutron in a fighting game. Come on, man. I need those gadgets on the big screen. Come on. I mean, then again, I don't know. Like I said, for the trophies, you could include Carl or Cindy or Sheen if he doesn't make it as a playable character. Hugh Neutron, all those other characters. Miss Fowl, the teacher, and all those other characters too. Like I said, of course, the Yokians as well from the movie. It can't just be characters from the show. But anyways, yeah, Jimmy Neutron would be fantastic. He would kind of I don't know. I was gonna say he'd be like the Mario of the game, but then again, SpongeBob is the Mario of the game, which I consider SpongeBob to be the Mario of the game. I don't know. I'm just ready to play as some of these characters. Anyways, next up we have another given. Or maybe not. It's an obscure character, but it's a well-known character. Jenny Wakeman from My Life as a Teenage Robot. Even though I have never, ever seen a single episode of My Life as a Teenage Robot, I can admit she needs to be in the game, in all honesty, because she just seems like a shoe-in immediately. She could kind of work like the Samus of the game, in a sense, because, you know, she would have arm cannons and all the other stuff that she does in the show. She could use her jetpack to fly and all that. I mean, hey, I know at least a few things about Jenny that I don't know in the first place, but that's beside the point. I mean, and hey, it would be an epic addition to include a remix of her TV show theme song, because that theme song's a banger. Anyways, next is some honorable mentions. Before we get to number 1, let's talk about some honorable mentions. Robot and Monster from Robot and Monster. Even though I know this show didn't really last long. I think it ended on a cliffhanger in its very first season, with the series ending on a cliffhanger, whatever. It would be nice to have at least a reference, or, like I said, a trophy, if there are trophies in the game, which we don't know just yet. Or they could be called master models, for all we know. But yeah. And next up, we have Mikey from Kappa Mikey. Even though the show only ran for 2 seasons, it definitely seems like Kappa Mikey would be a hugely popular demand character. I mean, I don't even know anything about Kappa Mikey, but I'm sure it would be interesting to see him in the game, nonetheless. You never know. Next up is a very odd decision. Dudley Puppy or Kitty Catswell from Tough Puppy. Now, I know this show has gotten a crap ton of hate in the last few months or so, maybe the past year or something, but honestly, they could be interesting to have at least a reference to like in the background of, like, one of the billboards could have like a product based on, you know how like in Mario Kart 8 there's products based off of certain characters like Burning DK and all those other things, Bullet Bill engines and whatnot. They could have that kind of stuff. So maybe they could reference Dudley or Kitty in that sense. So next up we have Squidward from SpongeBob. I just want to play as Squidward in a fighting game. I really do. Even though Squidward has had his playable appearance in SpongeBob Plankton's Robotic Revenge. That's a bad game. Hero Pants is even worse, and he was also playable in that game. And he was also semi-playable in BFBB Rehydrated, and also as a power-up in Truth or Square. He needs to have his own playable appearance in this game. He would be so cool, honestly. I mean, of course, he could slap everybody with his tentacles and whatnot, and his taunt could be like that one dance that he did, you know, and all that. I don't know how to replicate it. It's very hard to do it. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, then get out of here. Anyways, next up is a very odd decision. Kid Danger from Henry Danger. Even though the show is absolute crap, I got to admit he would be neat. He would be a neat choice for a character because, you know, there's the Danger Force, which I did not hear anything about, most likely because it's worse than Henry Danger. But he would be nice to include as a trophy. There has to be trophies in the game now. Even if there aren't any, you gotta at least have some sort of forms of trophies. Like representing Nickelodeon's past. I would be surprised if there was a Nickelodeon 80s Nickelodeon pinball trophy. That would really take people back. But anyways, next up is another weird decision. Blue and Steve from Blue's Clues. Not Blue's Clues and You. That show is the literal worst reboot since Powerpuff Girls 2016. And CW Powerpuff Girls. Let's not talk about that, though. Let's talk about Nickelodeon. Yay, Nickelodeon. Boo, Cartoon Network. But never mind. I'm just kidding. I like both. But anyways, they would be nice. They would kind of work like a duo in a way, but not necessarily. I mean, they would be cool, and you have to have a skin for Steve where it's like an orange jacket referencing Joe, even though Joe is a very bad host. I got to admit, he'd be very cool. And also, Blue would probably have a skin representing the magenta dog, I can't remember the name of, or maybe the green dog, which was also in the original show. I don't know. But yeah. And the last honorable mention is Bessie Higginbottom from The Mighty Bee. I've never, just like My Life as a Teenage Robot, I've never seen The Mighty Bee. I've only seen a few clips here and there, and I've also heard of the character. She was okay in the Super Brawl series, so she could be pretty good in this, honestly. Of course, her final smash or final splat, oh my god, that's the best idea in the history of the universe. The final splat. But anyways, you guys get it? Yeah, it's freaking funny. Laugh. Anyways, it could be her turning into her Mighty Bee form, of course. Like I said, I've never seen the show, so I don't know jack crap about her, but that's beside the point. So for me to know nothing about the shows that I already know about or am aware of. But anyways, now for number one. The number one character that I want, and is probably going to get confirmed the next day when I release this, Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life. It's a given at this point. Ren and Stimpy and Cat Dog are already confirmed because of the box art. I was told that by my friend Gray on Discord. So, you know, I mean, you got Cat Dog, you got Ren and Stimpy. Why not have Rocco or Heifer even? Or Filbert. That would be super cool, honestly. Having like either Rocco, Heifer, or Filbert. Maybe the big heads. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Rocco would be excellent in the game, to be honest. He could, of course, use a lot of weapons, which are references to the cartoons and episodes that he was in. Maybe even have a reference to the special that was on Netflix, I believe, or something. I don't know. But anyways, that's my top 10. Don't come after me for it, please. Don't take it seriously, or else I have no choice. Exit is that way. But anyways, he said the exit word. thank you guys so much for watching my top 10. Like I said, don't come after me for it. This is just my own opinion. We don't necessarily know if any of these characters are going to get confirmed, and if they are going to get confirmed, then I'll be super happy, but that's beside the point. Like I said, the joke characters are jokes, just for laughs and whatnot. Actual characters are actual characters, and honorable mentions are honorable mentions. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I promise that I'll get my movie review out next. I don't know when I'm going to get it out, because I got a lot of stuff to do, and summer school, and actual school, which is starting next month. Oh, God. But anyways, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Sayonara, peeps. Take care. Super excited for the game. Bye.